This is the quickest, fastest, and most powerful sedan in the world. There is no asterisk underneath that statement. Most powerful, 707 horsepower. Fastest, 204 mile per hour top speed. Quickest, bone stock, as you see it here today, street tires, NHRA certified, 11.0 second quarter mile time. Redefines practicality. I'm going to let Mark take you through the design elements.
Thanks, Tim. I think it's pretty awesome. It's so nice, as a designer, I look at these things for, sometimes years, and it's like, yeah, can't talk about it, can't show it, so it's finally, here it is. So it's really great to be here. And it's so fitting to me to be out here on Woodward. I come out here on weekends. I'm driving a Hellcat, so sorry if I kicked your butt. But it's great because there's so much car passion and old Mopars, Chargers and Challengers and that running around. And it's that passion that people have for Mopars and for Dodge products, historic vehicles, even late model vehicles that feeds us. Working with Tim and Russ and all the guys behind these cars, we feed off of that and we fuel it. And as a designer, it's awesome because we're so emotional about things. We're so visual. So to be out here on Woodward with all of these awesome Mopar products running around, it's very fitting that we're here and we're able to show this car here today. So when we started with the SRT, we had a great platform to build from. Obviously, with the intro of the 2015 Charger at the New York Auto Show, that car had a lot of presence. There were some great things done to it. The face has so much presence to it. There were things done to the C-pillar. C-pillar was pulled rearward about 4 inches. Gives it a more coupe-like profile. The plan view or the corners of the fascias were tucked in a little bit. It visually shrinks the car. As well as the door, the scallop. Just changing some simple lines on the car really modernized it, but it's still a Charger. It just took it to the next level. So we're very proud of that car. So when we started out to do the SRT, we said we've got to go even further because that car already has so much presence to it. And obviously with an SRT product, any Dodge that wears an SRT badge, it has to function. So it's all about maximizing cooling. And we took advantage of that and said, how can we make a face that has so much presence? And we wanted to make the face be as outrageous and has as much presence as 707 horsepower does in this car. And I think we did that. We've utilized the Charger tail lamps. We actually have SRT badges that are located inside of it. But you can see here we've really closed up the center area and maximized the lower for airflow. One of the great things about being a designer is being able to spend time in the wind tunnel, and especially with a vehicle like this, as Tim said, 204 miles an hour. There's a lot we have to do in the wind tunnel to make sure that the car has that balance. So on the front fascia, we haven't had to resort to an add-on splitter. We've done it all with just integrating the fascia or the lower splitter shapes into it, maximizing the opening. We've got functional air intakes on the outboard side that Russ will get into some of the details on what those feed. But just this thing has so much presence to it and attitude. It really is a menacing vehicle. On the hood, and we're very proud of the hood. If you look at the Viper and the center NACA duct with the 2 air extractors, we've also used that same design cue on the Challenger, and now you see it here on the Charger as well, and they're truly functional. This lets in air, runs over top of the supercharger, these exhaust air, and they also help control the downforce with that incredible top speed as well. And there's something really neat about putting your hand over here and feeling the heat come out of it. One of the things I was talking earlier to, I don't know if you've seen a smoky burnout with the Challenger, and the Charger will do the same thing. As that tire smoke comes through, it comes up under the engine and it just pours out of those vents, and kind of gives me goosebumps when you see that. It's kind of a neat thing, kind of like a bull blowing out his nose. Moving down the side of the vehicle, of course, we have the same slingshot wheel, 20 by 9.5 inch. It's low gloss black here, and we also have the brass monkey finish. And something that we're really, really proud of is the Hellcat badge that you see on the fender. You're seeing it here for the first time. This will also be used on the Challenger. But you know, that's the one great thing about Mopar and Dodge is that we have these, we really take advantage of our history. If you look at Roadrunner, the Roadrunner decal, you look at Super B, Yellow Jacket, we've always had these characters that go along with it. And Scat Pack, they're icons. And people, I mean, look at all the people in here wearing Hellcat shirts already, and it's incredible. So we really wanted to celebrate that and let those who know, they know what this is when they see that badge on the car. So you're seeing it here, intro today. The SRT also has a unique sill as well on the Charger. And I'm not going to make everyone get up and go to the rear of the vehicle, but please, take a look at the back of the vehicle. Of course, we have our new racetrack, LED racetrack tail lamp that has this beautiful glow at night. Seamless, you can't see the LEDs, wonderful identity to it. But the Charger also has a unique rear fascia on it with two exhaust ports on it, 4-inch round loose tips. Our SRT customers like to modify their vehicles, so we give them an option of having a loose tip back there. And you'll notice the rear spoiler as well. One-piece spoiler, looks very tidy to the rear. It balances great with the front fascia as well as far as aero, and just really completes that look. Moving to the inside of the vehicle, you're seeing here as well for the first time is black Napa leather interior. It's also available in sepia, the color sepia in the Napa finish. So just a beautiful, wonderful leather quality. We also have optional red belts that you see here, and I think it just contrasts very nicely. We also have a modified center console to package the 8-speed transmission shifter, a new cluster with a 7-inch screen in between. The Hellcat has its own gauges. They're red, really, really cool. So please come up and take a look at that. 8.4-inch touchscreen as well with the performance pages that you can move all of those cool timers and gauges to that center 7-inch screen as well. And of course the SRT signature flat bottom steering wheel. So just one last thing I want to mention, because I've said this before over and over. As a designer, we try and design vehicles that have this presence. And I've said it I've got to work on a lot of Dodge products and SRTs, and coming up on an expressway or on a traffic light, you want to try and intimidate the guy in front of you with your car. I think we absolutely nailed it with this car, so we're very, very proud of it. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Russ, and he's going to take you through some of the engineering pieces. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Russ Rudicelli. I'm lucky enough to be the vehicle line executive for all the SRT products, and I get to talk to you a little bit about this monster next to us. We talk about quick, fast, and powerful. And as Tim mentioned, we're at the top of all those charts on this car. And as you can imagine, that offered quite a challenge to the engineering team. I'm very proud of what we brought here today. So the engineering story starts with the engine. It's a Hellcat supercharged 6.2 liter HEMI engine. Again, 707 horsepower at 650 foot-pounds of torque. Amazing piece. We've got Chris Collin here to talk a little bit more during the question and answer period, but very interesting engine. It uses the basic architecture of all our HEMI products, but 92% of the parts are unique to this engine, including the block, the crank, which is forged and also has heat-treated journal areas. We have forged rods, forged pistons, and of course that giant supercharger on top. The engine's manufactured in our Saltillo engine plant where all the HEMIs are built, but unique to the Hellcat is it actually runs through a 42-minute dyno cycle. So every Hellcat motor gets a 42-minute dyno cycle before it's shipped off and installed in the car up at Brampton in Ontario. Additionally, the car comes with an 8-speed manual, or excuse me, 8-speed automatic transmission. It's a unique transmission behind the Hellcat. Bigger clutch packs and wider gears. So that's kind of engine compartment stuff. As you can imagine, an engine of that size and that power takes a lot of special care and feeding. Starting with the fuel system, we've got a unique fuel pump in the back. It's a variable speed pump, and we had to upgrade the fuel line to 1/2 inch inside diameter. The fuel system can actually pump the fuel tank dry in 13 minutes at fully rated power. So we're flowing a lot of fuel. In addition, we're flowing a lot of air. We discussed a little bit about all the openings and getting air in and out of the vehicle. A couple of unique things for the Hellcat is the oil cooling system. So we have a separate cooler over here for the oil system. And then over on this side feeds a air to water intercooler. There's 2 intercoolers on either side of the Hellcat motor up here. And it's fed by its own water system separate from the engine cooling system. There's an electric pump that'll pump about 11 gallons a minute at fully rated power. So we're moving a lot of water to keep the intake charge cool and keep those power levels up. And that was quite honestly, one of the targets we set for the vehicle. A lot of our SRT customers take their cars, to track days. And so one of our design briefs was that the car had to run a 20-minute track cycle at 100 degrees Fahrenheit and not derate. And I'm proud to say that the car passes that with flying colors. Additionally, car has a unique special brake package. We've got 15.4-inch rotors on the front, biggest brake package we've ever put on a car. It's a 2-piece floating rotor with a center aluminum hub to drop the weight. We've got 6-piston Brembo calipers on the front and 4-piston Brembo calipers in the back. Additionally, bigger wheels. They're a 9.5 by 20-inch forged wheel, and the car comes standard on Pirelli P0s. We offer both a 4-season and a 3-season tire. Aerodynamics, a big point, and we spent a lot of time working on that. With a car, that has a top speed capability of 204 miles an hour, we really had to work on the details. Mark touched a little bit on the front fascia and the integrated splitter. In the back, the spoiler is unique, and if you get a chance to go around the back, we've actually added some little tricks on the kick-ups to improve downforce and yaw. So, like all SRT products, we're speed limited, not electronically limited. So, when we run out of power and aero drag, that's what sets our top speed. And again, on this car, it's 204 miles an hour. I think those are the big issues or the big engineering challenges mechanically. Electronically, a couple of unique things for the car. We have key fobs that come in 2 colors. The black one is a 500 horsepower limited key fob, so you can hand that to your friends. The red one, you get one of those, and that gives you the full potential of the car, which is 707 horsepower. Additionally, we have what I think is a unique feature called valet mode. And in that mode, you go into the screen, hit valet, it asks you for a 4-digit code, 1234, and then you hand the car off to the valet or somebody that's going to change your oil or whoever you don't want the car to have all the horsepower. It actually pulls the horsepower back, limits you to launching only in 2nd gear, only 4,000 RPMs, and you can't turn off any of the traction control or speed control things. So then you get back, have dinner, come back, hit the valet mode again, dial that 1234 in, and you're back to 707 horsepower.